Hey, what's up guys, it's XX Modern Warfare here, Gamertag Banjo Chicken. Happy New Year to everybody and welcome to another episode of Jtag tutorials. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to update your dash kernel to 16547, I believe is the correct version, or is it 457? No, 547. So first of all, the reason I'm making this tutorial may sound a bit strange, like I don't need to, because I've already made a tutorial on how to update the dashboard, which was episode 10. There's been a lot of problems with this latest dashboard update that it's never really been like this before, and because of this I thought I need to make a tutorial on this now because a lot of people are getting problems. There's no new version of Dashlaunch out yet, so some people are getting older versions to work, like 3.08 will work for some people, but it won't work for other people. 3.10 will work for some people, but won't work for other people. Even older versions of Dashlaunch are working for some people and not for others. And for me and a lot of other people, none of the versions of Dashlaunch work at all. So a lot of problems with this, and in episode 10 I showed people how to update using JRunner, and you can do that. You can use JRunner for this update, but because JRunner hasn't officially come out with a proper update, you can still do it with JRunner, but it does cause problems getting bad Nand flashes and stuff. Well, not necessarily bad Nand flashes, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, sometimes the console will freeze, or Dashlaunch doesn't work with it. So anyway, basically I'm going to be showing you guys how to update to 16547 and get Dashlaunch working even if none of the versions seem to work for you. That's the idea. So first of all, I have been really busy over Christmas. I was away for a week over Christmas, and when I got back my Jtag actually broke, so I spent 2 days repairing that. So I would have had this tutorial out earlier, but I've just been pretty busy this past week. So anyway, first of all, what you're going to have to get is the XeBuild kernel for 16547. There will be a link in the description, of course, as always, where you can download it from. So just go ahead and download this. And then on the other side, there's also Simple 360 NAND Flasher, which I'd also recommend you download. You can use Flash 360 like I did in episode 10. The reason I now updated to using Simple 360 NAND Flasher is because it supports Corona boards, and somebody let me know after I made episode 10 that Flash 360 has some problems with Corona motherboards, so because of that we're going to be using Simple 360 NAND Flasher, which has support for Corona boards, which is all good. So what we're going to do is download this, so this will be in the description as well, of course. And once you have downloaded 360 NAND Flasher, or is it Simple NAND Flasher, whatever it's called, we're going to need a USB stick, or copy it over using whatever, FTP, XBDM, Xbox 360 Neighborhood. I'm going to use a USB stick at the moment to copy this over. In fact, yeah, use a USB stick would probably be best. Whenever it's to do with NANds, I don't like transferring over wireless in case some of it doesn't transfer or it gets corrupted. But I mean, I know it's unlikely to happen, but just to be safe, when it's transferring NANds and stuff across that I'm going to be flashing to my console, I always like to do it with a USB stick. That's just me though, but yeah. Anyway, 360 NAND Flasher, stick that on a USB stick. All that should be in there is a default.xex file, and plug this USB stick into your Xbox, and yeah, I'll show you what to do from there. Okay, so now that we're over onto the Xbox, basically the same process as we did in episode 10. Anybody who's seen this, has seen episode 10, will so it'll be very familiar to you anyway. What we're going to be doing is starting up XeX menu, or Freestyle Dash is file browser. I mean, I don't have Dashlaunch set up on this at the moment, even though I probably should, but that's just the way it is. So I've got XeX menu up now, so I'm going to plug in my USB stick. Okay, so I've got my USB stick in now. I'll open up simple Nand flasher and start the default.xex file. So since there's nothing to write, it will only give me one option, which is to dump your Nand with raw dump v1. So just press X and it will back up your Nand to a file called flashdump.bin, which should be in the same folder as the default.xex for simple Nand flasher. So just wait for this to finish. So obviously, as you can see, this program basically just uses raw flash and raw dump, which are separate programs which you can use for Zell. So if you wanted to flash or back up your NAND using Zell, you could use it. You could do it by using raw dump v1, and to flash the NAND, use raw flash v4. But this program just lets us do everything inside freeboot, so we'll just use this. So press any button to exit. That'll bring me back to the normal dash because I don't have Dashlaunch installed. So I'll head over to XeX menu again, and it may not start because I've got my USB stick in. Oh, it's working, that's fine. So if I go to simple 360 NAND flasher, you should now have a new file, well, two new files in here. One is the log and the other is the actual flash dump file that we need. So now just unplug your USB stick, stick it back into the computer, and or of course copy the flash dump file over using FTP if you want, or Xbox 360 neighborhood. But anyway, you need to put the flashdump.bin file back onto the computer, and I'll show you how to update it. Alright guys, once you have extracted the flashdump.bin and you've got it on your computer, on your desktop, then what you want to do is extract the XeBuild, and I'm just going to stick it on the desktop here. And what we're going to do is run the GUI and make sure you get XeBuild for kernel 16547, because if you just download like the XeBuild GUI, it may not have the latest version in here. So make sure you get the one for kernel 16547. So yeah, just download the one in the description. So we're going to open up XeBuild, and we're going to open the source file, which is going to be the flash dump that we extracted, from the NAND. And I'm just going to create a new folder on my desktop called 16547. You can call it whatever you want. And this is where I'm going to save my UPD flash file once it's been built. Okay, so build type is our freeboot, or the method used to make our console run unsigned code. So either Jtag, RJH2 or RJH1. I'm RJH2. To find out the information about your build type, your motherboard, you can check on Dashlaunch. If you open up Dashlaunch and look at the bottom right hand corner, it tells you. Or if you bought your RJH from somebody, then they probably gave you a CD disk which contains all that information on it. Or of course, if you've RJH'd your console by yourself, you should know all about this anyway. So for me anyway, my build type is freeboot. My motherboard is a Trinity motherboard, and next we need our CPU key. So you can locate your CPU key by loading up Zell on your console, which is you basically turn your console on with the eject button, and it brings up the blue screen of Zell, which will scroll down and eventually it will show you your CPU key. Unfortunately, you'd have to type it in manually, which would take a while, but hopefully if you have bought your RJH from a seller, like I said, how they give you a CD, they'll probably have a CD with your CPU key on there. And you can get CPU key from network, which is by, if your console is set up with an FTP server enabled, then you can type in your Xbox IP address in here and get the CPU key from the network, and it will get the CPU key off the console, and that's another way of getting your CPU key. I got it on the CD, so I've got a text document with it in, so I can just paste my CPU key in here. And once you've got all this information inputted, all of this will be ticked. Make sure include Dashlaunch is ticked, and all of this stuff is the same as what I have here pretty much. Yep, okay, so that's it really. We just hit generate hacked image. Also make sure the kernel version down here where it says custom kernel version, make sure that's 16547, the latest dash. And you can change it. If it's not on that one, then you can click custom here and select the right one. But it should be 16547. Just click yes to this message and let it build the hacked image. And it's done, so we can just close out of this now. This log will be saved into a text document, so we don't need to keep that program open. So I saved it, if you remember, into 16547 folder. So if I go in this folder, I've got the log here, and I've got my updflash.bin, which is the hacked image that was created. So what we're going to do here is just stick this hacked image onto the simple Nand flasher. Get rid of that. So we're going to stick this in simple Nand flasher and transfer this back over to the console. So I'm just going to unplug my USB stick again and plug it back into the Xbox, and I'll show you what you have to do from there. Okay, back over onto the console now, and I've got my USB stick plugged in. So we're going to go back down to simple 360 Nand flasher and start the default.xex file. And now it's going to give us more options because we've got our updflash.bin in there. So we're going to press A to flash your Nand with raw flash v4. And it will say press start to flash your Nand or any other button to close. So we're going to press start. And as you can see here, it's now writing the Nand. So just give this a few seconds to complete. And what's going to happen once it's done is it will automatically turn off the console. And what we're going to have to do once it turns off the console is unplug the power cable for about 10 to 30 seconds. I'd give it 30 seconds just to be safe, but you can do it with 10 seconds. So it's shutting down now. And my console's turned off, so I'll unplug the power cable. And then we just wait 30 seconds. I'm not sure, you'll probably get a black screen right now. Nah, so it'll be fine. That's enough time. Okay, so turning it back on now. There we go. Okay, it's booting up now. So that's a good sign if you get the Xbox logo coming up. So that is basically how you update the dash, just to prove that we are now on the latest dashboard. Just go back to the original dashboard and go to console settings and system info, and there we go, 2.0.16547.0. that's updated. So next I'm going to show you how to get the avatar update. Now I've already got the avatar update. Like I said, I've had my console updated to this dashboard before, so I've already got the avatar update installed. But if you've just updated and you look at your avatar and it's just a shadow or like a grayed out avatar and it doesn't have your avatar in there, you're going to need to get the avatar update. So I'll show you quickly how to get that, and I'll also show you how to get Dashlaunch working on the new update if the GUI version isn't working for you. Okay, so now to get the avatar update. So what we're going to do is head over to the internet browser, and we're going to go on xbox.com. We're going to go on xbox.com /update. It'll be in the description, so you can just click the link in the description and enter. And you're going to get this screen up, which is going to say how to get the new Xbox 360 update. Go down to copy to a USB flash drive and download the update file, and that'll start downloading the system update. And I should already have it, so I'll just cancel that, but you would obviously download the whole thing. Okay, so once the update has downloaded, you'll get this. And what we're going to do is put this on a USB stick. This is not to be transferred over FTP or anything like that. You will have to use a USB stick or external hard drive, some FAT32 formatted device. And what we're going to do is just stick this folder in the root of a USB stick. And basically, this is the entire update that you would get from Xbox Live. But it doesn't flash the Nand because the Nand's already been updated. So it just installs all the little extras like the avatar update and whatever else needs to be updated. And it is a good thing to have the avatar update because you do end up with problems if you don't have it. So just wait for this to transfer any second now. Okay, so all you have to do now is plug this USB stick into the console and it should come up with a message asking you to update. I can't simulate this because I've already got the update, so it won't ask me to update again if I've already got it. But basically plug the USB stick in now and it should come up with a message to update. If it doesn't, go back to dashboard a couple of times, go Xbox home a few times. If it still doesn't work, try restarting the console with the USB stick already plugged in, and unplug it and plug it back in a few times. If that doesn't work, what some people have managed to do to get it working is to just add an extra $sign to the folder name. So it's $$ system update. Other people have got it working by changing it to just $ without the S in the system update. So you can try that. For me anyway, it just works normally with that. Works fine for me. Actually it shouldn't be a capital S, but not sure if that matters or not. But for me that works fine, but you've just got to try different methods. I mean, it should work just like that. Plug the USB stick in, it asks you to update, you click update and just wait for it to do its thing, and then you'll have your avatar back once you're finished. But if it doesn't work, then like I said, try dashboarding a few times, changing the name to $$ system update or $ without the S, and you just got to try a couple of things to get it working. But that's that basically. I can't show you that, unfortunately. I would like to show you that, but I can't. If you really want to see it without doing it yourself, then watch episode 10. At the end of episode 10 I do it, but I can't simulate it in this video because I've already got the update, so sorry about that. Now the next thing is Dashlaunch. Many people are having problems with Dashlaunch working on the new update. This is pretty much because there is no new version of Dashlaunch out yet for 16.547. So you've just got to kind of improvise. So first of all, I'd recommend you try downloading Dashlaunch version 3.10. If that doesn't work, try 3.08. You can download them off the realmodscene.com. That's where I go for this kind of most of my homebrew stuff. I go on this website to find. And Dashlaunch 3.10. I'll put a link to this in the description. So go ahead and just download that, extract it to your console and start it up. Try changing some of the game paths. If it freezes, and this is what is happening with mine, and quite a lot of other people are having problems where it freezes. So if it's freezing, you can actually install Dashlaunch without the actual program, just the launch.ini. So if you go back into the XeBuild for kernel 16547, there'll be a launch.ini file in here. So I'll move that to the desktop. You can edit all your Dashlaunch settings in here, and once you're done, you can just put this in the root of your Xbox 360 hard drive and it'll work. So at the moment it's all set up like this, and you can change it to what you want. So my freestyle dash folder is not called freestyle, mine's just called FSD. So you can just customize the settings as you wish here. So I don't want that. That's XEX menu, so I'm going to keep that. So when you hold down X, it takes you into XEX menu. I'm going to keep that. But for the default path, which is down here, I'm going to add freestyle dash. So all I do is type in HDD colon backslash, and then for me, my freestyle dash folder is called FSD. So I'm just going to say FSD and then default.xex. And that'll boot me into freestyle dash. So if I scroll further down, we've got plugins. So I want my XBDM plugin in here. So I'm gonna go and put in XBDM. Sorry, I'm typing with one hand at the moment because my microphone is kind of screwed up and I can't. Well, it's kind of half broken, so I have to hold the microphone in one hand and type with the other, so a bit slower today. But HDD colon backslash xbdm.xex, so that's our Xbox 360 neighborhood plugin installed. And then I'll also add the rpc.xex. Make sure you have these plugins actually on the root of the hard drive, so that it can load up. And of course, if you had Xbox Live Stealth, you would add one in for Xbox Live Stealth. At the moment, this current moment in time, I've not got Stealth, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And what we'll do now is have a look at other settings. FTP server, I always want that enabled, so just change it. It's currently on false, so we'll just change that to true, and that will enable the FTP server. And that's pretty much all I want to change. I mean, no, I'll leave that. I just want to make sure live block is enabled. Live block true. There we go. That's fine. So once you're done editing your settings in the launch.ini file, just click save. And what you want to do is just transfer this over to the root of the hard drive. So again, I'll just use my USB stick for that at the moment. So I'll stick this launch.ini file over. And for the last time, I'll go over to the Xbox and we'll finish up there. Alright guys, so now that we're back over onto the console, what we're going to do is go on to XEX menu, find our USB stick, copy the launch.ini file for Dashlaunch, and then we're going to go to HDD1 and paste it in the root. So we've got it here. Then for the Dashlaunch settings to take effect, you've got to turn the console off and back on. And that's booting back up now. Now if Dashlaunch is working, even though I don't have the GUI to get it working, because I edited the files in the launch.ini and because we used Dashlaunch when we created the hacked image, it takes us into Freestyle Dash as the settings, as I did in the settings, and that's Dashlaunch installed. And there we go, that's how you get Dashlaunch working on the new update. And if you want to add 360, what's it called, simple Nand flasher into your game path, so you can launch it from in here. Then you can just go into add it into the game paths in the content settings. You can do that if you wish. And although I do have a version of Dashlaunch here, I'm pretty sure I've deleted it off the hard drive, so if I started that up it wouldn't do anything. I need to remove that from the game paths, because for some people the actual application Dashlaunch will work, but for other people it won't. And in my case it won't work, so I've just got to manually edit those that launch.ini file like I did before. But as you can see, Dashlaunch is fully working. I've got system link patched, and it's booted me straight into Freestyle Dash when I turned the console on. So Dashlaunch is working without the program, and that's how you do it. So thanks for watching the tutorial. If you enjoyed, please give it a like, subscribe for more tutorials, and I'll see you guys in my next video.